YouTube! I figured out good lighting finally. Ish. Yeah, as you can see, it's fucking 3 in the morning. I don't know if you can actually see that because I have a green screen on, but it is currently 3 in the morning. I figured out good enough lighting, so now I don't have to record in the daytime. Fire. I finally got a lamp. The frame rate's still garbage because this is a garbage camera, but you know, you can't have everything. Breaking outside of boundaries in video games is so fun and interesting because you can't do it in real life. The backrooms simply don't exist, and you can't break the laws of physics. That's kind of what scientists have been trying to do for centuries now, and it just hasn't happened yet. So, I found a few places you can clip out of the map on You Can't Run in Hill.Gym. Not perfect, you can't do for obvious reasons. And they took away my spot in Green Hill, so now you're just gonna have to make do with these 2 maps until I can find a way to break free from Green Hill. As always, if you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Subscribe if you want to. But let's not waste any more time and break the rules of 2011X's game. So, Hill.Gym was actually kind of annoying to break out of since they patched the original spot. We couldn't use the invisibility clipping, and Metal simply couldn't push him through. We eventually found a spot that worked though, and we're able to clip through using the invisibility and charge. Being able to get out here is actually kind of cool. You can see how some of the ambience of the map works up close, and cool little details like a wall that's just here. It doesn't have collision, so I actually have no idea what this is here for, and I don't think you can see it from inside the map, so yeah, actually literally no idea why it's here. I suppose it could have been used as copy-paste tool when they were making the actual map for like the walls, but I simply doubt that. The cages also don't have collision, sadly, but that's just kind of expected. They don't have collision inside the map either. Kind of saddening, but that's just how the dice rolls, I guess. However, we actually realized that we can take this clipping further and get out of the map completely using this little gate up here. Some invisibility and charge clipping later, and we're fully out of bounds. Now, the keen eye of you might notice this hole in the ceiling, and I did too. Tails can actually just barely make it up here. And from here, this whole place is yours to explore. There really isn't too much up here, but it's really cool seeing how certain things work. Like how the lava flows are actually taller than the map to give the illusion of them flowing instead of having them clip weirdly into the wall. Up here is a whole mess of invisible walls though, and it's kind of hard to walk around them without falling or getting stuck. You can see, however, how some of the illusions are made, like how this spawn area normally you can't see out of, but you can look in from the top. So it shows that it probably has a one-way shadow effect to make the room look more ominous instead of just a roof. Or how the clouds and fog works, where it's just a 2D texture over here. There are other spots you can see into the map as well. There's a whole secret room that's just completely unused. It has no models or texturing other than the default tiles and walls. But it is really cool being able to see it, since you wouldn't otherwise be able to. This map really doesn't have any cool dev secrets to find though. Mostly it's just neat little tricks that they use to get the ambience and lighting correct. This kind of saddened me, actually, because I was hoping there'd be something neat out there, like unused models, or an Easter egg, or a dev secret, or, you know, anything at all, but there really isn't. Not unless you count that room, but I wouldn't, honestly. I looked for about an hour and a half, and I couldn't find anything. Unless I'm just bad at looking for things, that could be it, but honestly, I honestly don't think there is anything to find here. Unlike You Can't Run is interesting. You can get out of the map right here, and there's so much more to find. First off, you might notice that out here has a lot more flooring. Unlike Hill.Gym, it's a lot easier to explore without falling off. First, we actually found this little asset board right up here. Now, seeing things like this in other games, I assume this is here for asset holding until they need them in-game, from which they are teleported into the game from here. Or are asset holding otherwise to be able to copy paste them when the map was being made and they just forgot to delete this. Either way, I think it's really cool that they left it in because you can see kind of how the map assets work, and you know, that's just pretty cool. The reason that I picked Tails though was so I could get over this whole ravine in the ground to look for more secrets. And a secret I did find. I found one. A Sonic Unleashed poster that is normally not viewable from inside the map. These are the kind of things that I was hoping for to find in Hill.Gym, but you know, better late than never, I suppose. The whole room actually feels like it would fit quite nicely with the map. I wonder why it was scrapped, if it was ever meant to be in the game anyway. Unless this is supposed to be like the early version of the exit that we left the map from, but I kind of doubt that, you know, because it's kind of far away from the spot that we got from. And for those wondering, yes, the core is visible from the outside, and you can see it explode in all of its glory. It has a whole animation too, which is wild to see since no one ever uses the room that is used for seeing the core, because it's a one-way death sentence if you go there. So We're not done yet, though. We wanted to see if you can escape early. You can't, sadly, but that would be a wild bug. Imagine being able to escape at like 6 minutes still in the match. That would be fire. But you can't do it because the devs don't like fun. Which does tell me condition to be able to escape is the 80 seconds instead of it being a hitbox that's always there and is just closed off by the door. You know, pretty good foresight on their part, actually, because imagine being able to do that. Another thing that you can find is right over here. There's a troll face in the ground with what appears to be tripwire on the other side. I can't completely tell, but it looks like tripwire. See, you can see the little gem and the fishing hook thing, like the anglerfish. You know, the thing the anglerfish have. She has that. And a troll face on the other side. This is just mean, honestly. You know, because I doubt this was ever meant to be found in game, and it's probably an inside joke with the devs. The joke is that .02 is never releasing. I said a funny laugh, guys, please. But you know, it's kind of mean, especially for like people who do find it eventually, because let's be honest, they're gonna find everything eventually. Like, look at the video I'm making right now. It's still mean, very mean. I wonder if this was unintentionally left in, because it's kind of like clipped into the ground. So kind of makes me wonder if it was ever meant to be left in the map or not, or if someone hid it. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. This is another dev secret, and these are the things that I love to see in these games, because you know, it adds so much personality to them. It's like the Gordon Freeman box in Half-Life, or I can't think of any others right now, or this box does not exist in literally every single GTA game ever. It adds so much personality to these games, you know. It's awesome. This is why I love boundary breaking. Anyway, yeah. For those of you wondering, yes, the core has collision, and yes, you can get there with 2011X's charge and invisibility. Fire. I know, it's wild. I do wonder why it has collision, though, with it being so far out of the map, because collision typically requires more processing power than non-collision assets. So I feel like this could be optimized better, like, especially considering this is a Roblox game and they're getting ready for a big update. You know, everything's going to be unoptimized, pretty much. That's just how updates work usually. So I would assume it's not supposed to have collision, because you're never getting there in a normal game anyway. But you know, it's pretty cool nonetheless that you can get up there. Speaking of the core, you can see the lights are just kind of out here floating. There really isn't a source for the lights, which is interesting to see. You can get on top of the map from on top of the core too and see how some of the other illusions work, such as these little pillars. They're actually 2D assets that follow the camera, which is like one of the oldest tricks in the book. Games since Doom in like 1993, I think, is when Doom came out. When did Doom come out? I don't know. I wasn't alive then. Games have been doing this for a long time to make things look 3D from a distance, but the illusion falls flat. I know, another pun. I'm so funny, guys. When you are up close to it. All of this up here is explorable. Like, you can see this little chimney that you would you can see this chimney that you would otherwise not be able to see. And you can tell it's a chimney because it has a hole in it. The whole thing up here is explorable. There's not really much else to find, though, sadly, but it is cool nonetheless. This is pretty much everything that I could find in You Can't Run, sadly. And of course, this wouldn't be an Outcome Memories video without 2011X brutally murdering Tails. And that is literally everything that I could find outside of Hill.Gym and You Can't Run. I don't know, this is just a video that I had for a while now and decided that now was the time to post it while I'm waiting for footage for another video. You know, I've been posting a lot of filler content recently, so I decided this might as well, because I haven't seen anyone do this yet. So I'm gonna be the first. Screw you, and whoever decides to copy this video has to pay me in 7 Oreos, or else I am suing you for 8 for copyright infringing on Sarcasm's Boundary Break Roblox Outcome Memories game video. Anyway, so, you know, just have fun. Look out for the video that I'm gonna post soon. You gotta start recording tomorrow, hopefully. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. All that shiznaz. You know, and have a good day. Honestly, I hope you do. You're awesome.